Good morning everybody, welcome to another video. My name is Ralli Roots. I appreciate you being on the channel today. In today's video, I'm going to be looking through a couple eBay stores and showing you our own eBay store as well to kind of give you a better idea of how to set up the best eBay store so that you can in turn get more sales. What I did was I put out a post on our Instagram accounts just asking people if they would like to have their eBay store reviewed. We got 2 people who replied immediately, so we decided to take those 2 accounts and I'm going to be jumping over to my laptop and looking at their stores today. Pretty simple video, but hopefully there'll be some tips and tricks in here that'll help you guys build a better eBay store. And if you're brand new to our YouTube channel, this is something that we do for a living. We've been selling on eBay full time now for over 5 years. We've sold over $1 million worth of sales on eBay. And I say that not to brag, just to let you know, like when I'm looking at these stores, I do know what I'm talking about. So obviously take everything with a grain of salt. There's no perfect way to set up an eBay store, but there are a few things you can do to help increase sales. And if you're watching today's video, I'm assuming you either already sell on eBay or you're thinking about starting to sell on eBay. So if you enjoy content like this, if you enjoy content about eBay and how to make more money on eBay, please be sure to hit the thumbs up button on today's video and subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button and join the community. So with that being said, let's jump over to my laptop. I'll screen record everything and I'll try to come up with a few little tips that can help this store out. Okay, so let's dive into the first account today. The account is the Wolf Den. And again, thank you for allowing me to take a look at your account. The first thing I noticed right off the bat is you have great feedback. You have 100% positive feedback, which is awesome. Definitely keep that up. Your feedback score is pretty low, 168, but I don't know how long this account has been active. Let's see. All of that feedback's come from the past year. So that's really good. You're obviously doing a good job of giving customers what they expect and they're providing you with positive feedback, which is great. You have a good description on your account, which is great. One thing that I noticed obviously is this isn't a store. It's not an eBay store. It's just a user account. So you don't have a store yet. With 187 items listed, if you are going to continue to list items on eBay, so let's say you're going to be listing 50 plus items a month, I would suggest getting a store. You can get a starter store or a basic store, but you do get some benefits with having an eBay store that you're not going to get with just having an account by itself. So let's go to your items for sale. Let's take a look at what you currently have listed for sale. 188 results. That's good. Your pictures look good. They're square. Let's go down and click on sold listings just to see what your sell-through rate is. Okay, so very, very good. You have 188 items listed. You have 304 recently sold items. So your sell-through rate is excellent. It's more than 100%. So again, you're doing a good job at listing items the right way to get them to sell. Let's go back to your results. I'm going to sort it by newly listed so we can take a look at like how you're currently listing items, not how you've done it in the past, if there are older items up there. So let's look at this one right here. It's a new listing for a 2018 Marvin the Martian Looney Tunes shirt. So one thing that I want to commend you for when you're listing clothing, what I like is showing that main graphic as the first thing. So we actually also used to do our first main picture of the whole t-shirt. And we found that it does work better when you zoom in on that graphic and show that first main graphic. Because when people are looking for t-shirts, they kind of know that it's going to be on a t-shirt. So they'll see that graphic first and it pops in search. So you're doing a good job showing the graphic. It's in square mode, which is good. 1:1 aspect ratio pictures. That's what you want. You have 4 pictures, which is great. One thing that I would recommend just looking at this, your pictures look a little bit dark. So if you look at the background on this picture, that's on a white wall. It should be a little bit wider. So you may want to get a couple more box lights or something, maybe 1 ring light just to shine on that picture, some indirect light, just to make the graphic stand out a bit more and get the true color of the item, because the shirt looks a bit dark to me. I don't think it's probably not that black in person. So let's look at your title. I would probably change the year to later on in the title. So move that year. I would put Marvin the Martian as your first part of that title and then move the year afterwards. So we do brand, gender, size, color, any other keywords. So with this one, I would reorganize the title and do something like Marvin the Martian, men's size large 2018 t-shirt, something like that. You just have shirt in the title, you don't have t-shirt. I would put t-shirt because a lot of people are searching for t-shirt, not just shirt. But besides that, your title is actually written quite nicely. Your price is good. You're doing free shipping, which is great. We offer free shipping too. You don't have to do that, but it does help with sales. You have a buy it now and an add to cart. One thing that I would recommend doing is adding best offer to your items. Even if you don't accept best offers, it gives you a little bit of a boost in search. And sometimes people will offer like, you know, if it's $14.75, sometimes people will offer $14. And of course, you're going to accept an offer that's only 75 cents less. So just having best offer on there does help increase sales. Your returns are good. You're doing 30-day free returns. You have buyer paid returns on there, which is totally fine. Once you grow a bit more, you can do free returns. Like we do free returns on our first class shipping items. Because like this one's only going to cost maybe $5 to ship. And like our return rate on clothing is less than 2%. So even though we offer free returns on our first class items, we don't get that many returns. So think about doing that maybe in the future. Your item specifics look great. You're filling out a lot of item specifics, which is really good. You have your size in there. You have the character family, the material. That's good that you have all the item specifics. You want to put in as many item specifics in a listing as you possibly can. And then your item description, short, sweet, to the point. I like that. You have a little bit about yourself in there as well. That's good. You also have a little feedback request thing down here. Honestly, like I don't think that's necessary putting in there if you're disappointed with your purchase. That's more like a thank you note thing you want to put in the package when you're sending it out to them. You don't have to put that in your listings. You do have your measurements in the item description. I would also suggest taking a picture of your measurements and including them as a picture. You can use a ruler and take a picture of the measurement on the ruler, but what we like to do is we actually use a board and we have the measurements actually on a board as a picture. So for example, like this is our listing. We actually have this little framed board and we put the size and the measurements as a picture in the listing. What that does is it helps people who don't go into the description of the item. And that happens a lot, believe it or not. When you're buying on mobile, a lot of people don't click into the description of the item. They're just scrolling through, they look at the pictures, they see something that they like and they hit buy. So having the measurements as a picture helps with returns, right? So people see exactly what the size is, and if it's not their size, they don't buy the item. So that tip should help you put the measurements as a picture in your listings. Let's go back again and just look through some more of your items here. Your pictures are good. You're doing a good job. Like this one, obviously, tidy that up a little bit, get an actual good picture of that front graphic. The other thing I would suggest is use all your title. So like this title here, there's a lot more room to put other stuff in there. So use all your title, like put other keywords in there so that people can find your item easier. So it looks like you actually do have the measurements shown in this listing. Continue to do that. That's a really good thing. Doing it that way is fine too. Just writing it out on a Sharpie and sticking it to the item. There's nothing wrong with that. One thing that I would like to see as well here, let me sort this by your active items, price plus shipping, highest first. Yeah, so I've noticed that you're selling some lower priced items. Most of your items seem to be on the lower end. I would suggest maybe focusing on a higher average sales price because you're selling a lot of one-off items. And when it comes to one-off items, you know, listing an item that's $200 takes the same amount of time and effort as it does to list an item that's $10. So it's better to focus on a higher margin, a higher return rate, and a higher revenue amount coming into your business than to just list lower priced items. That's something that took us a long time to learn when it came to reselling, but the more we've raised our average sales price, the easier our lives have gotten. So even on eBay, like eBay buyers, we've noticed people who purchased more expensive items, they're a lot easier to deal with. You know, they're not nitpicking about little things. Selling someone a $10 item, sometimes they just like, those are the ones that you're going to get a return on. When we sell someone a $200 t-shirt, it's very, very rare that we get a return on that because they know exactly what they're buying. When someone's spending $10, they're just taking a shot in the dark. When someone's spending $200, they want to know exactly what they're getting. But besides that, you are actually doing a really good job. I like the way that you're listing. We suggest listing under a whole dollar amount, so and under 0.99. So instead of listing something for $24.99, we'll list that item for $24.97. So under that 99-cent mark. And people ask us all the time why we do that. And the real answer is because a lot of people search items. They'll sort items on eBay by price lowest first. So if I'm selling the exact same item as someone else and they have that item listed for $23.99 and I list that item for $23.97, when that person sorts by lowest price first, mine's gonna pop up ahead of theirs. And sometimes the only thing you have to do to get a sale is be the first one in front of someone's eyes. So that's the reason why we price the way that we do. I think that's about all I can offer on this account. I think you're doing a great job. Like I said, do those little suggestions that I made. The only other thing that I would recommend is maybe expand your horizons into other products. So it looks like you're selling a lot of vintage, a lot of like graphic t-shirts, a lot of apparel. Maybe expand more into shoes, maybe expand more into outerwear and hats and maybe some vintage electronics, stuff that complements your account, but that also will bring in more revenue and attract more buyers. So that's the first eBay account. Let me jump into the second one and see if we can notice any other changes. Alrighty, so jumping into the next store here, this one's called Lines Out Fishing. Again, thank you for allowing me to take a look at your store. I appreciate it. So let's jump into this. Okay, so this is an actual eBay store, which is good. So we saw an account. This one is an eBay active store. Same thing on this. You have 100% positive feedback. Very commendable. Good job there. And you have a decent amount of feedback as well. So 2,796 positive feedback, 100%. That's amazing. Great job. Welcome to Lines Out Fishing. I'm a tournament angler trying to provide affordable quality fishing gear for the tournament. So your store seems to be totally geared towards a certain niche. You're geared towards fishing, which isn't a bad thing. We have stores as well where we only focus on certain categories. A lot of people ask us, like, when should I get a second store on eBay? And sometimes the answer to that is if you have a store that sells everything, a little bit of everything, and you want to get into like a niche category, sometimes it's better to create a separate store just for that. Because like a store like this person has 144 followers. Those people are following their store because they know that this person gets fishing stuff. So you will get repeat business if you have a niche eBay store. So definitely so far so good. The one thing that I notice immediately is your store banner. So this section up here, it's small. You have your logo basically repeated in the banner. It's a small thing there, but I would recommend changing that and making it like an actual eBay store banner. I'll show you our public eBay store really quick. So we have a banner in there and then we have the logo in there as well. There's a website called canva.com. It's a free website. They don't sponsor us. We use them all the time. You can go to Canva and you can create a very simple banner for your eBay store. But I would suggest doing that. It'll just make it look a little bit nicer. But your logo is really great. I like that a lot. Established 2019. So you haven't been around that long, but it looks like you're doing a really good job. Let's scroll down and it looks like you have a ton of categories. You have a ton of store categories. That makes it a little bit hard for people to navigate your store. I would suggest maybe doing like 5 to 10 main store categories, and then you can do subcategories underneath that to make it easier for people to navigate your store. Your featured items are good. You have that in there. So you have 2,218 items listed. That's a lot of items. So you definitely have a larger eBay store. That's a lot of items to have listed. And scrolling down, it looks like you actually don't only focus on fishing stuff. So that might be something that you may want to consider in the future. The name of your store is Lines Out Fishing. You may want to change that. You may want to change your logo. If you are selling a little bit of everything and not just fishing stuff, maybe think about doing a name change. So the first thing I like to do when I'm doing a store review is, again, look at your results listed. So how many items you have listed, 2,327. And then I like to go down and just click on sold listings. And depending on how you have your store structured. So like when you do this on our store, you're not gonna see all of our sales because we list with that out of stock option on because we get a lot of wholesale stuff. So I'll even show you, like on our store, it's showing 598 results listed. If I click on sold listings, it only shows 23 results. Obviously, we've sold way more than 23 items on eBay in the past 90 days, but because we have that out of stock option listed on there, not everything goes to the sold comps on eBay. One easy way that you can fact check someone to make sure that they are actually selling stuff is look at their feedback. So on this account here, on the Hipline account, we have 6,516 positive feedback. We're at 99.9%. And if you look at how many actual feedbacks the account's getting, so like in the past 12 months, we've had 1,016 positive feedback. And we all know not everybody leaves positive feedback. So on average, we're getting like 25 to 30% of people that are actually leaving feedback. So really the actual number of sales that this account has done in the past 12 months it's more like 4,000 to 5,000, I believe. So again, when you're looking at people's eBay stores, just keep that in mind. Some people list with that out of stock option on. That's the way that we list. So not everything goes to sold comps. But if you don't have that option on, all of your sales will go into eBay's sold comps. So that is a way to check a store's sell-through rate sometimes. So 1,293 results, that's good. And 2,300 listed. So you have like a 50% sell-through rate. That's not bad. I would suggest maybe running a sale on your older items. Maybe doing like a markdown sale where you do 20, 30% off items that have been already listed on eBay for maybe more than 90 days. Everything that you've had on eBay for more than 90 days, maybe run a sale on and just clear them out. So let's sort by newly listed again. again and see how you are currently listing items. So the first thing that I notice is you have all caps in your title. You don't want to put all caps in your title. It's okay to capitalize the first letter of each word in the title, but maybe don't use all caps there. The other thing I notice is that you're not taking pictures in square mode. You really want to do that 1:1 aspect ratio mode. It makes your items look a lot better, and it's how Google and eBay want you to take those pictures. The other thing I noticed you can be doing a little bit better is the background for your picture. So I would suggest, I mean, you have a big account, you're selling a lot of stuff. Invest in like a white photo paper background, just white Savage photo paper. I'll link the items that we use for our eBay in the description of this video, but we use the same white photo paper. We've used that for, oh man, we've used the same roll for like, I don't know, 3 years. So it lasts a long time and it works really well, and it will give you a much nicer, cleaner background than how this currently looks. The other thing that I noticed that's a huge red flag, this will probably be the biggest thing that I say in this store review, is you do not accept returns. I don't know if that's on every item. Let's go back and check some other stuff. Yeah, you do not accept returns. For a store this size, you absolutely should have some sort of a return policy. Even if it's not free returns, even if it's just buyer paid returns, you should offer some sort of a return policy. Having no returns on doesn't mean that you're not going to get returns. Having no returns on just means that someone has to open an item not as described case and they can still return that item. So really there's no point in having no returns on. All that's doing is hurting your sales, because if you're selling this pair of scissors, for example, and I'm selling the same pair of scissors, same price, we have similar feedback, right? But on mine, I have free shipping, free returns. A buyer is much more likely to purchase from me than they would be to purchase from you, just because they've never done business with either of us, and having that security of knowing if something goes wrong, they can return the item. That's a big selling feature for people. So you can do what you want, but I would suggest having some sort of a return policy on your store. Keeping it going, looks like you have a wide variety of items. See, in some of your items, the pictures are square, which is good. That's how you want to take pictures of items, in square mode. You also do have best offer on a lot of your items, which is great. Definitely keep that on there. Your item specifics. Okay, so it looks like you are not filling out enough item specifics. Go back into some of your items when you have a chance and tweak those item specifics. Put in as many as you can, because that's how buyers on eBay are currently searching for stuff. And eBay really is harping on making sure that we put those item specifics in there. So just go back and add some item specifics. Your description is very simple, but it's fine. You don't really need a super long description. That's something that on eBay back in the day, if you wrote like a full paragraph and explained the history of the item and gave a really good description, there was actually a better chance that your item would sell. In today's eBay, you really don't need a crazy long description. Just very simple is fine. When you are doing descriptions, I do suggest you take the title that you use and copy and paste it into the top of the description of your item. That just helps with search engine optimization. So when the search engines are looking at the web page of eBay, they see the title and then they see a matching title in the item description, and search engines like that. Okay, what else? Yeah, I mean, all of these new items, I don't see anything to do with, oh, there's something to do with fishing right there. There's a lure, but it looks like you're listing a lot of stuff that doesn't have anything to do with fishing, and that's not a bad thing. I think it's good that you've expanded into other products, but I would, at this point, I would suggest either creating another store for your fishing account and changing the name of this store, or just change the name of the store and you have everything in it. There's nothing wrong with having a store that has lots of different items, but you don't want to call it it's only fishing when there's other stuff as well. Let's sort by highest price as well and see where you're at. So yeah, it does look like you have some more expensive items listed, which is good. Try to, again, focus on getting that average sales price up higher. It's good that you're doing that. You do have a good focus on a wide variety of items. That's great. I noticed this one here, this looks like a stock photo to me. Just be careful using stock images on eBay. Sometimes companies don't like it when you use their images without their permission. It doesn't look like you're doing a lot of that, but just be careful with that. One other thing, even with new items, like this one here is a brand new item, you only have 2 pictures. Put 4 pictures in there. eBay likes a minimum of 4 pictures. So even though you're allowed to only list 1 picture or 2 pictures, I would suggest take a picture of the barcode, take a picture of like the corners of the box or something close up of it. I don't know, but do at least 4 pictures in each listing. That'll help you out. You also don't need to do stuff on your listings like this, where you put new factory sealed. One, that's in all caps. You don't want to list in all caps titles on eBay. And two, like, it's already here. It already shows as brand new. You don't have to put that in the title of the listing. Use that title for good descriptive words and good descriptive keywords that people would search for when they're looking for that item. You don't want to waste the characters on something like new factory sealed when you could use those characters to actually describe the item and get someone to the listing. And then again, a lot of your items are listed as whole amounts, so $145. Instead of doing that, again, I would suggest listing it like $144.97. So it just changes the price up a little bit. It's good for when people sort it by lowest price first, but it also makes your listing stand out a little bit more. So think about changing some of those prices on your items. And then same thing, like looking at this vintage t-shirt, include the measurements, and take measurements pit to pit, from the pit to the pit, and then the collar to the bottom of the shirt. Take those measurements and include them in the listing, because you'll get far fewer returns on clothing items when you include the measurements. And it is really important on vintage t-shirts to make sure you are including those measurements. But besides that, I think that's a fairly comprehensive store review on this one. I don't think there's really anything else that I can help you with. You're obviously doing a good job. Your stuff is still selling. I think the biggest takeaway that I have for this store is offer some sort of a return policy. Just doing that, I feel, will increase your eBay sales. You may start to get a few more returns, but just monitor it. And if you're getting way too many returns, switch it off. But returns on eBay, to me, that's cost of doing business. Like, it's part of what we do. And as long as we keep our return rate under a certain percentage, the benefits of offering free returns for us far outweigh the negatives of actually getting the returns back. We just roll that into the cost of doing business and continue on. So there you go, guys and girls. There's a couple good store reviews for you. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you picked up any like good tips or tricks and you found a benefit from today's video, again, the way that you can show appreciation to me is just hit the thumbs up button on the video. That tells me that I'm doing a good job and you enjoy the information. But again, thank you for watching. I hope this has helped a little bit. Not every store is created equal. You don't have to do what I'm telling you. The only reason why I wanted to make today's video was just to show you how we do things. Just because they work for us doesn't mean that it is this set in stone way to do things. But we have found that when you make these little tweaks, it can help your stores out. So again, hopefully I wasn't too harsh. Hopefully you got some good information. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys and girls.